This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Well, the DMK patriarch says love for Tamil is top priority, apparently even more important than keeping a date with the Prime Minister of the country and a crucial alliance partner. Political analysts are taking Karunanidhi's alibi with a pinch of salt and point at fissures within the alliance. But the PM and the CM play to the gallery with smiles and hugs. Alliance politics, ladies and gents, at its best. But today's action doesn't just end there. A student part-timing as a security guard is shot at by an unidentified man. In what is shaping out to be a case of personal tempers flaring up, our crime reporter Salim will join us and tell us more about the blazing trail of unlicensed weapons in the state. And finally, Karti's fans are in for a double dhamaka this weekend as Sirutai hits the big screen. What can the fans expect? Well, we get you a sneak peek with the exclusive chat with Karti himself. A very good evening to you and welcome. You're watching Headlines now with me, Ashmit. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at the top stories at this hour. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh shelters the DMK Congress combine from political headwinds, say that the ties are strong.
Well, the alliance remains as strong as ever.
Why miss a date with the Prime Minister? DMK chief has the perfect alibi, says love for Tamil is top priority, dismisses talk of snubbing the Prime Minister.
நான் முதலமைச்சராக இருக்கலாம் ஆனாலும் முதலமைச்சரை விட பெருமைக்குரியவர் ஒரு புலவர் என்பதை இன்று ஏற்றவில்லை என்றைக்குமே இராது.
An unidentified man opens fire at a student part-timing as a security guard at a petrol station near Irungatu Kotai. First time on celluloid, the ethnic conflict of people of Dhanushkodi and other coastal towns. Chennai Open sees the big Indian players Mahesh Bhupathi and Leander Pace in doubles while Bopanna is gearing up against Wawrinka.
At the same time, this is the Indian Open. It's our chance to play in front of our fans. So, having won here 4 times already, we hope we can replicate that again.
This is my time, my chance. So let's see. Hopefully, this time I'll come out on top.
And the ATP event Chennai Open is off to a glittery start. Film stars Surya and Vivek Oberoi take to the centre court, look to serve up aces against the best in the business.
Coming back together, the entire tennis fraternity, the whole world that watches and loves tennis and has seen their magic on court together.
Karti dons a double role for the first time in Sirutai. Will it be a double dhamaka at the box office? Let's also have a quick glance through developments from across the country. The court questions the CBI's hurry in closing the Arushi case. The Talwars file a petition asking the court not to close it. A former secretary to Vilasrao Deshmukh who got 2 flats in Adarsh finally resigns from the State Human Rights Commission. Abdul Ghani Bhatt, a senior separatist leader, has admitted that militants and not security agencies have killed some top separatist leaders. And with garlic at 300 rupees a kilo, a gang of thieves in Surat turned their attention to the vegetable. Indian seamers rattle the Proteas. The pace battery of Sreesanth, Zahir and Ishan do the damage, even as Indian openers are off to a sticky start. And first up, the morning after the Chief Minister Karunanidhi chose his love for Tamil poetry over calling on Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he got into damage control mode. Now with the result that a smile of solidarity was flashed for the media and both the seasoned politicians were quick to declare all is well with the alliance. Shabir Ahmed brings us this report.
விமான நிலையத்திலே பிரதமரை வரவேற்க வேண்டிய வேலை முதலமைச்சருடைய கடமை. அதற்கும் செல்லாமல் இங்கே வந்துவிட்டேன் என்றால் என்ன பொருள்? நான் முதலமைச்சராக இருக்கலாம் ஆனாலும் முதலமைச்சரை விட பெருமைக்குரியவர் ஒரு புலவர் என்பதை இன்று ஏற்றவில்லை என்றைக்குமே இராது. அந்த தமிழுக்கு பெருமையை தரக்கூடியவர் நான்.
Karunanidhi is not the first chief minister to skip protocol. In 1998, Jayalalitha had snubbed Atal Bihari Vajpayee in a similar fashion. But on Monday morning, with both Karunanidhi and Manmohan Singh reiterating that all was well with the 6-year-old DMK Congress alliance, any cracks, visible or invisible, were cemented over for the time being.
Well, the alliance remains as strong as ever.
After high tension between the DMK and the Congress over the 2G spectrum scam, sources in the DMK say Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi was highly disappointed as the Central Environment Ministry has been delaying green signal for this project, the Adayar Punga. which is considered to be the Deputy Chief Minister's pet project.
Of course, when Karunanidhi and Manmohan Singh met at the Raj Bhavan earlier, none of the simmering tensions were visible. Remember, Jayalalitha had offered to support the Congress a few weeks ago when the Spectrum scam and Raja holding on to the telecom portfolio was a raging issue. On Monday, it was a joint exercise in the DMK Congress Bonhomie.
வருத்தம் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. பொருத்தமான காரணங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அதனால் வருத்தத்தை கிடப்பில்லை.
காங்கிரஸ் திமுக உறவு எப்படி இருக்குது?
எனக்கும் கொடுக்குற அளவு இருக்கு.
This was the first face-to-face meeting between Karunanidhi and Manmohan Singh post the A. Raja resignation saga. Despite the show of unity ahead of the assembly polls, political analysts say that beyond the all is well with the alliance facade, the dent on the 6-year-old DMK Congress alliance is unmistakable. In Chennai, with camera person Srinivasan and reporter Shabir Ahmed, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu. And some more action from the state. A student from Chennai College pursuing his MA degree suffered injuries as an unidentified man opened fire. Now, Arul Arasan, a 25-year-old student from Chennai New College, was working as a part-time security guard at the petrol bunk near Irungatu Kotai. He suffered bullet injuries on his leg. The incident took place at around 11 p.m. yesterday. The victim was rushed to a nearby hospital. Special teams have been formed to nab the accused. The petrol bunk property remained intact and the investigating agencies are suspecting a personal motive. Now for more on that, let's go across to our crime reporter Salim, who's joining us live from the newsroom. Now Salim, earlier you had told us about a gory picture, not only in terms of this one specific incident, but also about a larger picture of unlicensed weapons actually doing the rounds in the state. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the victim in this case is undergoing treatment at a private hospital, and a fact which worries the police department is that the wider picture in this case, the availability of unlicensed arms in Tamil Nadu and especially in Chennai raises the eyebrows of the men in khaki. Hardly a month ago, the suburban police seized 2 guns with 18 bullets from 3 persons in Ennore during a routine vehicle check. Now, the police are worried about this trend. They say that a few people here operate very tactically as far as these unlicensed arms are concerned. They establish contact with North Indian drivers who come to Chennai. They bribe the North Indian drivers. These North Indian drivers work on a commission basis. They bring in guns from North India, especially in Northeast Indian villages where people earn their livelihood by making these country-made gun and selling it to the lorry drivers over there. So, these North Indian lorry drivers buy these unlicensed country-made guns say for about rupees 5,000. They bring it here and sell it on a commission basis to the people who are in need. The police say that this is a disturbing trend for them as far as the police department is concerned.
Right, Salim, that's one interesting trend that was actually brought to light a few weeks back by Pratik Shah, our very own reporter, about unlicensed weapons in the state. But can you tell us more about the police's response with regard to this larger trend and of course this one specific case in particular? Any developments regarding the official version?
As far as this case is concerned, the police say that they have formed many special teams and they are busy with the bandobast duty as Prime Minister is in Chennai. The police say that the real investigation will kickstart from tonight, and the police are very clear with one fact because the police say that the accused has fired from a closer range and that he is not a professional criminal. If he is a professional criminal, he would have shot him on his chest, but the police say that the bullet was fired on his leg, and hence the police come to a conclusion that he is not a professional criminal. But one thing is that he has shot him from a closer range and that he could not shot him exactly where he want to shoot.
Right, Salim, rather. Thanks a lot for joining us with all those updates on this disturbing trend. Let's move ahead now. The people of Dhanushkodi and other coastline villages have never been the subject of a film, but award-winning filmmaker Leela Mani Mekalai's new feature film Sengadal gets that right. Our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed brings you an exclusive preview of the film, which tells the story of coastal towns such as Dhanushkodi, which have borne the brunt of ethnic conflict in neighbouring Sri Lanka for close to 30 years. And the film was shot during the last days of the ethnic war in Lanka, while the war was raging in Sri Lanka.
Suspects. That is how people who live along the porous border village are treated, simply because such a place is invariably the first destination of Sri Lankan Tamil refugees in India. Be it the state police, the Coast Guard or the Sri Lankan Navy, every authority looks at them with suspicion. Filmmaker Leena Manimekalai tries to capture the harsh conditions, both physical and psychological, in Sengadal.
Almost 660 fishermen were, registered killed by the Sri Lankan army. But there was no stronger voices, raising their issue. It's actually an international, human rights violation. So I went off to Rameshwaram and spent a very quality time, particularly with Rosemary, who was involved in refugee services. She was such an impressive personality because she herself has lost her husband in the war. Her husband was shot by the Sri Lankan army.
Other films such as Pugarendi's Kaatrukenna Veli, which tried to grapple with the Sri Lankan Tamil issue, created a flutter in the political circles of the state. But this film from the director of Goddesses, an award-winning movie at the Mumbai International Film Festival, deals with another politically sensitive issue, that of killing of Tamil fisher folk.
I got an opportunity to get associated with fisherwoman movement, particularly when we traveled to Delhi to have a series of struggles before Parliament.
While the influx of refugees during the last phase of the war in Sri Lanka forms part of the narrative, the film, for the first time, brings to life the engaging stories of the fishing communities in the villages of Kambipadu, Palam and Dhanushkodi. In Chennai with Peer Mohammed, this is Divya Kumar for NDTV Hindu.
Well, we are heading into a small break, but on the other side, we bring to you an interesting tale of inflation. Thieves shift attention from precious metals and stones to vegetables. Find out more about that in just a short while.